inside scoop of what's going on in the life of Derek right now and why he chose this design of all. In this video, I document my experience in redesigning and reimagining the Gymshark Apparel logo. Now, if you're not too familiar with the Gymshark Apparel brand, they're typically known for their stylish, comfortable athletic gear for the athletic community. So to catch you up to speed, I'd been working on this project for about 2 to maybe 3 weeks by now. And this is the part of the project where what we call the inspirational and research phase. It's kind of all merged into one. And you will see, because it feels like it's all merged into one. My emotions were all over the place. I was coming up with dozens and dozens of designs and I still couldn't land on one. Take a look. So as a design challenge, I decided to reimagine the Gymshark logo. And I'm not gonna lie, like it's been pretty difficult. I've been working on this logo for about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. I feel like 4 weeks since I decided to. And I've pulled my hair out. I've walked away from my desk, just frustrated, but it has been a really interesting journey trying to reimagine this logo. And I'll tell you a little bit more about why I decided to choose this logo. So one of the reasons why I decided to choose this logo is because, I don't know, it's a good logo. I did my research before I jumped into this project. I have a lot of respect for the designer who created this design. I think it's good, but for me, it just lacked something, and I didn't know what it was. And it just kind of, when you look at the logo, it's a good logo, but I felt like it didn't really represent, I don't know. It didn't represent a lot of things. For me, the logo just really lacked, it lacked kind of personality. It lacked what the brand is about. The design itself, for me, it wasn't strong. It wasn't strong. When I think of Gymshark, I think of, well, first of all, it's like when you think of a shark, you think of aggression. A shark attacks. That's what they do. They attack aggressively. I studied the gym evolution, how it evolved. Their first logo kind of looked more like, work from Shutterstock or something like that. And then of course it evolves into the one that they have now, which is good, but for me, it just lacked personality. It needed more strength. It wasn't aggressive. So that's what this whole thing is. It's like, I've never really personally liked it. Like, it works for them, but I just think the design could be better. I always wondered what it would look like to reimagine it, and so now I've decided to do it, to redesign it, and it has been, I'm not gonna say it was easy, but we're still in the works. We're still making something happen, and yeah. Some inspiration that I've been pulling from was logo modernism. This book, it's a bulk of a book, but it's really good for inspiration. I mean, these are from designers from way back when. It's a brand identity book, but it has really been helpful and just kind of helped giving me some guidance when I feel lost, just some extra ideas. And then I also have this one here, made by James Martin. This is a really good one. Really has some good points in it. Let's see, logos that last. This is also a good one here. This is by Alan Peters. Really good one, really good book. Definitely good for inspiration and just knowledge about how design works. He's a really good designer. But yeah, I've been kind of using some inspiration from him as well. But yeah, I've been also using some inspiration from Pinterest. The reason why this project has been so difficult is because I decided to, again, reimagine it, but instead of doing another logo shark design, which there are hundreds and thousands of those online and on Pinterest, and I didn't think the design needed that. I didn't think the brand needed that. In doing my research, studying their website, they're not just a clothing company for athletes. I'll go into a little bit more as far as like my decision on my art direction and stuff like that. Today I'm just giving you a little bit of a inside scoop of what's going on in the life of Derek right now and why he chose this design of all. Why did I want to redesign this one? I hate it. No, I don't hate it. I actually love it. It's been so fun, but so challenging. This is, I don't know. But we're still coming up with something. I have something that I kind of like right now, so we're gonna go with that. We're gonna roll with that. And at any point, if I feel like the design that I'm working with is just totally irrelevant, I'm gonna scratch it and we're gonna start all over. We're gonna get this right. We're gonna get this right. All right, so here are some printouts along with some personal notes about what I thought, what I liked about the logo, what I disliked about the logo. And here are the different variations of logos, ideas that I just ran with for a little bit, and then it was like, no. One of the reasons why I didn't want to go with the shark logo is because it's just kind of overdone. It's nothing unique about a shark, So I really experimented with just different variations, different shapes, ideas, working day and night for almost 4 weeks trying to get this right. Just different designs and ideas. I know I work chaotically, but this is just a lot of stuff. Now this is the part of the video where I had my aha moment, and we all have had those aha moments, right? And this is the part where everything just came together bit by bit, piece by piece, and it all just made sense. So as of this morning, I think I kind of have something. We kind of have something cooking, and I'm excited. And this is just phase. This is not even really phase 1 right now.
Damn.
Like, we're just trying to come up with an idea that is relevant to the brand, that works, that doesn't feel disconnected. We want to stay relevant to the brand as possible, but keep it simple as possible. If you go to the Gymshark website, their brand stance, their messaging is to unite the conditioned. Athletes that are conditioned, they want to unite them. Now, I could take that, a totally different way, but okay, so today is Sunday. And typically on Sundays, what I like to do is I like to go to the coffee shop and have, of course, a cup of coffee and have my computer and just kind of start brainstorming and creating. And specifically today, what I was originally going to do was go to the coffee shop and continue working on this logo. But then I said, you know what? I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm gonna work from home, in my room, in bed. And so this morning I got a cup of coffee and I got my sketch pad and I resumed crafting the logo. And I had a cup of coffee in there and I had some music going, and I will tell you what I came up with today. And I think I might be going somewhere with it. I am still I think we still have a long way to go, but I think we have the skeleton of the logo. And that's huge progress from the past 4 weeks since I've been working on this thing. That's huge progress. And so what I wanted to do with this logo, just to kind of give you just some reference here, I wanted this logo to have several different key aspects in it. I wanted it to be unifying. I wanted it to be, of course, different, relevant, but I wanted it to be simple as well. And I will show you here what I have. So as I was saying here, I don't know if you can see it here. Yes, like I wanted it to have some unison. I wanted it to have aggression, because you know it's a shark, right? But then I also wanted it to be bold and recognizable, relevant to the audience, and I wanted to have kind of reference to anything that kind of, you know, alludes to the brand. It feels a part of the brand. I guess it kind of falls in line with being relevant. But so this is the frame, the skeletal frame that I've come up with. So this is the first variation of it. Actually, this one, is pretty much the first. This is one of the variations, second variations, third variations, and then this morning we started kind of refining. This was late last night before I went to bed, just kind of experimenting. So it's supposed to be a G plus an S, and so here I try to add, like, kind of give like a sharky feel to it. And then this morning I started continuing with this variation of it, and then I gave it another variation. So I think I'm sticking with the unison, you know, like the two shapes in unison together. So I think that is important, because remember, according to the Gymshark website, they are trying to unite the conditioned. But as you can see, we're still keeping the frame, right? And then here's another variation. There's that one, and then there's this one here, which I think we're kind of coming to an agreement here. So this kind of, so it's supposed to resemble, a, like I said, a G and an S. And here, this one looks more like a G and an S. You can kind of see it. So I think we're gonna probably run with these two variants and probably do some refining once we get to the computer. And like, we still have a long way to go. So, I mean, who knows, if I see something tomorrow that I'm like, hey, let's do this instead, then we're gonna do it. So those will probably change throughout the next probably couple of days and weeks, but we have a skeleton, and that is important. The key takeaway here is keep experimenting. Creativity is all about experimentation and seeing what works. And a lot of times it's not easy. This is probably one of the most challenging logos that I've had to work on, but it's a lot of fun. And I also know that I am challenging my creative skill. What I believe what it will do is it will help me to access my creativity much faster in solving problems, seeing patterns, and finding creative solutions that way. I would like to start transferring all this stuff to the computer next week. I'm gonna give myself one more week to really nail down what we're going to do with this logo, how we're gonna do it, and yeah, I will keep you posted. So this is kind of the original skeleton here that we've been kind of toying with. We went from this to this to this. So here it kind of looks like a G and an S, which is kind of something what we want to go for. But I kind of want to make it resemble a little bit of a shark, but I'm not sure. We're just gonna have to just see what we come up with. So I started this morning with this, and I don't know, it feels a little forced, as if I was trying to make it seem like a shark. But if anything, if we're gonna make it look like a shark, then we're gonna probably use this shape here. So we can experiment with that shape. Come up like that. So that is this shape here. And I feel like if we try to make it look like a shark, it's gonna be forced. If we were to, but then it looks like an arrow, but we don't want that. Let's see if we can fix this here. How do we make this look like a shark? Well, we already have, this would be the nose. This could be the fin. If we were to add something like, I don't know, like that. Maybe extend this down. Then, if we were to recreate that, I kind of already don't like where this is going, but we're just going to just see where it goes. It would look something like that, which I'm not a huge fan of. Now, does it have to look like a shark? It really doesn't. This is me just being extra. I mean, this shape right here is perfectly fine because it communicates what we needed to communicate, which is unison, aggression, and you know, and then just by design, a G and an S. So yeah, I mean, technically we're done, but we just want to actually, we're not really done. We just want to just experiment a little bit more before we choose this one as the final design. And this means more exploration, more just trying to make it something more than what it is. You know, we could make this a little bit more distinct. Maybe that fin was not a bad idea. But I don't know, I don't want to add too many other things to it, because it looks fine by itself. It looks slick. There's not a whole lot of detail, and that's kind of what I don't want to get away from. Is I don't want to add a lot of detail. Now this logo. I have a lot of notes here just from doing my evaluation. This logo, it's good. It just, I don't know, there's too much negative space and there's too much detail. But I wanted to get away from a lot of detail, which is why get it closer like that, maybe I can see it. It's a little off, but yeah, I just kind of referencing this and this one. The less detail, the better. At this point, I really feel like I've come to the end of the road, and this one may be the best logo. I find it hard to go farther than this. And of course, there's also this one here. This one is also pretty good. It's just very basic, very, very minimal detail. And so yeah, it looks like it's literally 2 blocks. You can see in an abstract way a G and an S. However, this one here, it's just a little bit more edgier, should I say. But yeah, I think this is as far as I can go. Now, could I go farther? Yes, technically, but it's going to be a lot harder, and I'll probably more than likely keep going back to this only because it solves some problems. And when you come to a point where a logo solves multiple problems, then it's like it's kind of like, you know, that famous phrase, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. However, we will do a little bit more exploring just to be sure. If we come back to the same results, then voila. All right, so now it has been a few weeks since our last video. A lot has happened. So just to recap the process here, what we basically did was we sought inspiration before we started sketching. So we found inspiration through design resources, other industries, and just, you know, different, you know, logos that people have already done. It's not stealing, you're just pulling inspiration. All right, that's a difference. And then the next phase was the sketch phase. That phase is also very important. I'm kind of old-fashioned, so I really like to actually draw out and sketch logos. Some people do it on an iPad or on a computer. I'm not built for that. Like I'm more of the original phase. And then from there, you know, once you have your different variations of your sketches, you select one. Always go with the one that feels right. That's why, like, typically I would offer like 1 or 2 design options, preferably one, and then I would try to definitely kind of lean more in the pitch during the logo presentation to, you know, suggest this design because it works better. But you always want to give your client the choice. You never want to pressure them. Just present your logos. Design your logos in an unbiased way. As a designer, I never make it a point to select a design based off of what I like, because what I like is irrelevant. And oftentimes when we put our own desires, our own preferences above what the client wants or what's opposite of the brand, it's never going to work out. The client won't like it because it's going to be irrelevant, and it's just I don't recommend it. So always try to separate your bias from the design, even though sometimes you want to push a design. I've seen that backfire. Moving on, once we have that, that's when you start to design your mock-ups and you kind of bring it into life. What would the logo look like in the real world? And here's what we've come up with. We have a Unity logo that shows 2 shapes coming together in unison. We have boldness that helps it give off strength. And then we also have aggression as it leans towards a direction aggressively. And then we also have limited negative space to where the logos are so close together that it shows tightness. And check this out. it actually looks like a G and an S. Now for the word mark, since we have taken care of all that, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to focus on the word mark now. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep the existing word mark, this existing font, because people are already used to it. It's recognizable, and it just kind of makes sense to keep. We'll probably play with the edges a little bit, like with this G here, make it a little bit more edgy there. If you made it to this far of this video, thank you. I know this is a longer video than usual, but I really wanted to make a video like this to help those designers out there who are a lot like me 10 to 15 years ago, who were new to the design industry and didn't know anything about it. If this video was helpful for you, let me know in the comments, and also be sure to like this video and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.